I bring you Magnifico and his trusty assistant.
Treasure trove of opportunities to razzle and dazzle you. Even though you ask for giraffes and elephants and automobiles, El Modo will go beyond that. Try to have some music, please.
He asked to see a rat. El Modo, can you perform this task?
The magic scepter. Magically appearing from the hat is a...
Oh, shit!
And just so you know, sir, that's my last rat.
The sheet I gave you.
Yeah, the introduction.
Let's go over some.
You can't get good help. You just can't get good help. You read that part right there. That part.
He wants me to read this to you. Fellow Rotarians, due to having gotten a paying gig, our selected magician was unavailable. But we are fortunate to have a famed wizard who will amaze us with his sleight of hand. Having completed a 10 truck stop tour of the Dakotas and dazzling the audience at the Peoria International Tractor Pull, I give you El Moldo, the Magnificent.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You read it better the other time.
I don't think...
Well, we'll
Okay,
get out of
let's
the silly
go over
costume.
it. Yeah.
When we were asked to be part of making Rotary fun, we sort of took it as making Rotary fun. So that's what we are. We're just fun. But we're going to talk seriously now about some opportunities that you have as president of your club to make the club meeting exceptional. This is valued real estate in your community. Don't miss the opportunity. Lovely assistant to begin.
Let's talk about program themes for your year. If you have specific ideas and things you want the program chair to address, let them know early. You know what? Let's also hand these out. One of the things we're going to talk a lot about today is just simply the ability to be organized in your meetings, and that helps free up your time to have fun and be productive. That's you.
Meetings is theater. Think about it. You've got a stage, you've got an audience, you've got a prescribed amount of time. You're the writer, the director, the producer. You're it all. And in some cases, you're the actor. If your meeting is accidental or it just kind of happens, you've got a bad meeting on your hands. Take advantage to structure that time, orchestrate that time, and to use that time in a fashion that it's got 2 or 3 acts, however many acts you want. But think of it as theater. And you've got an obligation as the producer to satisfy the audience, the members of your club. They come every week to see theater. Let the curtain go up and produce a great show for them each week.
The agenda is your script, and plan it, stick to it, and assure participants you know their expectations. Your chairs need to understand what you expect of them. Your board needs to understand what you expect of them, and run the meeting in just such that way. Now, I know with smaller organizations, you're more concerned with, I think a lot of times, especially if the community is a group of people you've known forever, now you can do that tactfully. You still can do that in a tactful way. Okay.
Clock discipline. Start on time, end on time. Kevin will tell you about the Rotary Club in Lexington. If the governor of the Commonwealth is speaking at 12:59, he is 1 minute away from talking to himself. They are gone. And we, I think to our credit, have had that kind of discipline and people respect it. You have speakers that if you don't enforce discipline, they'll just go on and on and on. So out of respect to your club, to your members, to your guests, clock discipline.
Staging. If your venue can support it, have a dead table so that those on the program can be seen easily. Most clubs, too, have some sort of an amplifier or a mic that people speak into. And I think the point being, you're doing everyone a disservice if half your club cannot hear the speaker. So the first thing, just make sure that the logistics are there.
Greetings. Show of hands. Who has ever been over-greeted at a Rotary Club? Oh, really? I think you may be under-greeted. Do not, please, do not give the greeter's button to somebody that can't greet. A non-greeter is worse than a no-greeter greeter. I said that right?
Yes, you did.
Thank you very much. Take an opportunity to use your new members as greeters and pair them up, if you would, with some senior greeters that are very good at it. And the best example I've seen is at the Tulsa Downtown Club. I mean, if they've got 12 new members, they're lined up, they're queued up, and you cannot get to the buffet line without being greeted. It's not going to happen. You will be greeted. That's the only club, I think, where you can get over-greeted. But it's fun, it's light, it's engaging, and exposes the new members to the club as well.
Okay, announcements. Keep them brief, to the point, and be enthusiastic in them. That keeps people's attention. Also, if you've got someone who's got to speak, and he or she has a limited time frame, it keeps them on their toes.
To spin off that just a little bit, avoid the deadly lag time. If you're at the podium and you're calling someone up, that's the first mistake. Don't call them up, they should be right there. So when you step away from the podium, they're there. I'm an old broadcaster, and the worst thing is dead air. You don't want it. You don't want lag time in your program either. Member minute. How many of you do classification speeches? One club. Here's an opportunity, if you haven't done these in a while, to bring them back and make them part of your regular lineup each week, because that's one way for new members to be introduced, and they should be introduced numerous times in their first 90 days. You've heard about the first 90 days being the most critical 90 days in a new member's Rotary career. If you get it right, you'll be able to retain them. If you don't, the risk is very high they're gone. So introduce them repeatedly, plus give them an opportunity to do their classification speech. Additionally, have other members give a classification speech. I'll give you an example. Joe has been in the club 40 years. He gave his classification speech in 1965 or whatever. Do you think anything has happened in Joe's life since his classification speech in 1965? Yeah, maybe. Bring him back up, and you can have members every week giving little vignettes about themselves, their lives, their Rotary experience, etc. That's a smart thing to do.
Audio and video. The younger ones are immediately confused if we're not using audio and video. And that's one of the first things they want to do. Gary did that this year in our club. Bought a DVD machine, and he has things going every week. He'll pull things in on his laptop from the internet. Sometimes it's a Polio Plus ad, sometimes it's some sort of ad from the internet. But add that. That's an embellishment for your meeting, and it's interesting. If you've got somebody in your club who is especially adept at technology, put that on them.
This day in history. Take 1 minute. Have a Rotarian that's really good at it. Do a fun, capsulized glimpse of this day in history. Throw in a little Rotary education. Throw in a few birthdays, a few anniversaries, a few grandkids being born. And you've got a very nice little package that serves the club in a fun and interesting way. And find somebody that's willing to wear silly hats maybe, or costumes or wigs, and make it more fun that way.
Invocations. This is something that we can have lined up ahead of time, and it's something in Rotary I think we need to remember that we're inclusive. And this means we include all faiths in the world. If you have people in your club from different faiths, which many of us will, invite them to be part of that invocation group. But remember to be inclusive.
To sing or not to sing? Any of you sing? Any of you shouldn't sing? I know that answer. If some clubs are very good at it. The Murray, Kentucky Club. Anyone here from Murray? Murray, I'm telling you, you walk in and they are rocking and rolling and they're singing and dancing. You think they're juiced up. I swear, it's amazing.
This year they had something to sing about.
Yeah. But when you go to that meeting, you know you're in a special place with some special people. And they've even done this. They will write a special song about the speaker. That's amazing stuff. But if you do sing, do it with just outright enthusiasm. The fact that you may not be the best voices, don't let that deter you one bit. And frankly, the louder you sing, the better, particularly when you're bad.
Who in this room does not like to be recognized for their personal achievements? Who? Is there anybody in here who? Linda? Do you know of anyone? I don't. I don't know anyone. Recognize people in your organization when they get perfect attendance, when they become a Paul Harris Fellow. Also, don't forget to recognize your club as much as possible, because part of what you're doing is building credibility in your own community about your club. So do that as often as you can.
Eulogies. Old Joe went on. You were all there at the funeral. Family was touched by your presence. But something is missing. Use the time a few weeks later after Joe's passed. Invite the family, have them there, pay for their meal, and have someone who's very good at wordsmith to do a Rotary eulogy of Joe. It's a powerful thing when it's in the hands of really good people. Not just everybody. But it's a way to remember Joe and to remember him in terms of his Rotary life. And it's a great thing for the families too.
PR in the web. Who's got a website? How many clubs have a website? That's really super. How often do you update it? I mean, don't leave it the same for a year. That sends the opposite message of your club. It's kind of like, yeah, we're cool enough to be on the internet, but we're not.
Thank you. What would you like for me to pull from the magic hat with the magic wand?
Bud Light.
A flower.
I heard someone say a rat.
A rat. Would you like a rat?
Who said that?
Yes. There's supposed to be applause.
Oh no!
Thank you.
Has anybody ever heard the term prosdoki? I had to look this up. Here's the definition. A figure of speech in which the latter part of the sentence or phrase is surprising or unexpected. An example here, frequently in a humorous situation. Where there's a will, I want to be in it. That's about it. Well, they've given me a few to share with you all. First one is, do not argue with an idiot. He will drag you down to his level and beat you with his experience. The last thing I want to do is hurt you, but it's still on my list. Light travels faster than sound. This is why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. If I agree with you, then we'll both be wrong. I really am going to use that one. We never really grow up. We only learn how to act in public. Y'all do not know how close that comes to me. And war does not determine who is right, only who is left. And my favorite. Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. Next up on our agenda everybody's gonna learn to hula hoop.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Oh, maybe. I have one for you. Life is like a horse, no, not life, change. Change is like a horse and ride. If the horse drops dead, for goodness sake, dismount. Write that one down, Tom, that's a good one. Y'all like my hula hoops? Yeah. Are you worried about them? Absolutely. I'm not going to hula hoop. I'm going to set down right here and let you all think about it. I have a test. I call this kind of thinking outside the box. Dave Weller calls it a criteria for becoming a Rotarian. You have to answer these questions. But I want to give you all this test, and I need 4 volunteers. Come on. It always happens. I say I need volunteers, and everybody just, and they won't look at me.
All right, come on, somebody's got to join me.
Because I'm going to give you the easiest question. All right? Now pay close attention.
I got you.
All right, you ready?
I'm focused.
Focus.
I'm focused.
How do you put a giraffe in the refrigerator?
Very carefully.
Very carefully, that's true. But there's a little more to it than that.
Shove hard.
Okay, I'm going to help you.
Oh, okay.
You open the door, put the giraffe in, and close the door.
That was easy.
That's easy. It's not hard.
Why did I think of that?
I know. Okay. Good job. Now, the first 2 people I asked that question to, one of them said, I'd cut him up in pieces.
Is Peter listening? Or?
Yeah, no. The other one said I'd cut his head off. And I thought, oh, man, this is a trend.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Here's your question. How do you put an elephant in the refrigerator?
Ooh.
You open the trunk and put him in it.
The trunk.
Open the trunk and put the elephant in it.
In the trunk and put it in the refrigerator.
One leg at a time.
One leg at a time. Well, no, not exactly. You open the door, take out the giraffe, put it in the oven, and close the door. Okay? Pretty simple.
So simple what she
No
said.
big deal. But nobody talked about cutting off parts of the elephant, so thank you for that. Cindy! What do you think's going in the refrigerator now?
I don't know anything but an elephant.
Not an elephant or a giraffe. Well, your question is, the Lion King is having an animal convention. What's the only animal that won't attend?
Oh, an animal.
You don't know. You don't know. She said a rabbit, but she's not real sure about that.
Rat is in the house.
Well, the only one that won't attend is the elephant, because he's in the refrigerator. Okay. Okay, Sandy, now you got the idea how this is going. But your question is the hardest one of all. All right. You come to a river that you want to cross. It's inhabited by crocodiles. How are you going to get across?
It has to have something to do with these guys. I know that. It has to. Well, the elephant's not at the... I guess I'm going to have the giraffe help me. He's out of the refrigerator.
He's out of the refrigerator, but if he's out of the refrigerator, he's gone to the animals convention, so he
That's
can't
true.
play.
So the elephant's there, the giraffe is there. I guess I have to have the lions then. I don't know.
You don't know all this, and I'll tell you the answer. You just cross the river because the crocodiles are going to the animal convention. Let's give them a big round of applause. Okay.
Pretty good. Hey. Helping, no helping.
Really?
a copy, it should say Kay Sharon and Russ Guffey at the top. Do not have that. I'll pass these around here. I appreciate you all letting us come here today. You can just, we'll circulate. But I do appreciate everyone being down here. I know that this is a fun week, a lot of good information, a lot that's thrown at you. And this is the reason why we've actually given you these sheets. Each person that's coming in, that's talked to you thus far, and will talk to you over the next 20 minutes as well, is going to really hit on kind of one thing. I'm giving you the sheet, and I'm going to highlight a few things on here that our club has done so that you can take this home and have a better idea of maybe what you can do to make Rotary fun, make membership fun. Because in my belief and from my experience, I have been a chairman of the board, I've been a club president, we have about 120 members, I've been an auction chairman. Our club has the single largest fundraiser in all of Rotary International. We're from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Every single year we raise about $300,000+ with our auction. Every single year. A town of 30,000 people. The town next to us, Cadiz, Kentucky, has about 10,000 people. They raise $200,000+. So no, it doesn't matter as far as the size. The main thing is, do you make it fun? If you make it fun, you're going to raise the money. If you raise the money, you're going to have the membership. If you have the membership, you're going to have more ideas to make it fun. If you continue to make it more fun, you're going to raise more money. If you continue to raise more money, you're going to continue to have membership. It's a cyclical type of event, and that's what we're here to talk about today. And the whole reason why I'm up here dressed like an absolute idiot, looking like Billy Ray Cyrus up here in front of you, is because of Jeopardy. Believe it or not, we sent out an email a few months ago for Valentine's Day. Bring your spouses. Bring a potential member. Bring your significant other. Alex Trebek is coming to Hopkinsville, Kentucky. He's going to meet with our Rotary Club, and we're going to have a meeting where he plays Jeopardy with us. We had RSVPs through the roof. Then it hit us. We don't have Alex Trebek coming to our club, so we probably need to send out an email the morning of apologizing. But what we did have was Alex Trebek's mother's neighbor's third cousin twice removed. Alec Trebek's in the flesh here in front of you right now. And we had a little Jeopardy game you buy, I think, at Walmart. It had the little buzzers. It had the score cards up front with the lights. It hooks up to a projector, goes up on the wall, and you can program any question you want in there. And it's got the background music, and this is Jeopardy. And you're sitting there playing, and we're pitting new members against older members. We're pitting husbands against wives. You name it. But it was a fabulous meeting. I bet we had 20 additional people there, 30 additional people there. Since that time, about 2 months ago, we've inducted 9 new members, and I think 6 or 7 of them were at that meeting. And to be completely honest with you, this is something that after a meeting we sat down and went, well, you think that'll work? I don't know. We should probably try it then. And that's what we did. And here we are, better membership because of an off-the-wall idea. You cannot be afraid to just go out there on a limb and try something. If it doesn't work, guess what? Your membership's the same. If it does work, guess what? Your membership has grown and you've had more fun in the process. So a couple of other ideas that I'm going to highlight are things that we have tried over the past couple of years. And I've got a few minutes, so I'm going to run through these very, very quickly. But if you'll skip down there to the night at the museum, one of the items that we auction off during our fundraiser, and this doesn't have to be a fundraiser, this could just be an event that you do as a club, is we actually use our existing museum. We use our existing county historian. We use our existing downtown, and we bring in some idiots like myself who are willing to go up there and just tell some jokes and have some fun. We bring in belly dancers. We bring in you name it, and we make an item. You serve a dinner, people pay for it, and what happens is the majority of the people that come to this event are not Rotarians. But guess what? After the event, they're Rotarians because they want to join a club where they're getting this great atmosphere. And every single year we have this, and every single year we grow in membership because of events like Night at the Museum. It's based on the movie. We do a little downtown walking tour, and it's just a fun night. You run from 6 o'clock to about 11 o'clock. Use whatever your town has to offer, or whatever it doesn't have to offer. Make fun of it, for that matter. You're living in the town, you love it. It's not like you're doing it to belittle it. You're doing it to have fun. Switch on down there to the area sports coaches. Every city has a school. Every school has kids, and chances are the majority of your Rotarians have kids in that school. Well, if those schools that are there have kids, they have teams, they have teams, they have coaches, those coaches want to tell about their teams. Almost every time the basketball coaches, the football coaches, the soccer coaches come to our Rotary meeting, it's one of our most well-attended meetings. And the way you can make it even more so, invite the media to it. Encourage your membership to wear your school's colors. See what kind of camaraderie you can get going during those meetings, and use those opportunities to invite a potential member. Because when they see you having fun, they're going to want to be a part of that. It's very, very simple. The #1 attended session through this entire weekend is how to make Rotary fun. Why is that? Because Rotary meetings are not fun. The second most attended, membership. Why is that? Because membership is down. Why is membership down? Because the meetings aren't fun. All right, these are hand-in-hand issues that we have here. The last one I want to talk about, and we have found this to be our most successful membership drive, is a social. I would recommend doing this in lieu of your meeting. If you normally meet at Tuesday at noon, meet Tuesday at 5 o'clock. But don't meet at the country club, or don't meet, at where the Memorial Building, or at the Holiday Inn, or wherever you normally meet. Meet at the golf course. Meet at a restaurant. But make it a stipulation, if you're going to come, you have to invite a potential member. Because what you're going to see is the membership look forward to those meetings, because it's just out of the norm for them. But more importantly, what you're going to see is those potential members, not only are they having fun, they're seeing Rotarians having fun. And when they see that, they're going to want to become a part of that. Not having fun? Check that off. Membership's down? Check that off. You've done both. You've killed 2 birds with 1 stone, is what you've done. I'm not saying that you shirk the responsibilities of the club. I'm not saying you take Rotary International and throw it out the window. You can still do that and have fun, but you can do it taking 15 minutes of your meeting or taking the whole meeting to do it. You can cross off all of those things and still have fun while doing it all. I would love, to come and visit some of your all's clubs. I'm right up the road or down the road from many of you, and I'd like to get some ideas from you. We're always looking for ways we can improve our club as well. I know I'm out of time, but I do appreciate yours, and go Cats over the next couple of weeks.
We need just a few minutes to get our props ready. I am looking for a parrot head party. Has anybody seen a parrot head party? Parrot heads are supposed to be gathered in Madison, Alabama for a big parrot head party, I heard. A place to have lots of fun. It's Saturday night. About 500 to 700 people are going to be there. We're going to have so much fun talking about the various things that's going on around our community, and just singing and visiting and just having a great time together. The event starts off with a steel band. We begin with a steel band. It's an island-themed program. And we follow this steel band up with dancing. Everybody dances. And oh my gosh, once we've had just a few of these margaritas that they make there at that event, it is so good. And we just can really dance a great deal better after a while that we've been doing that. And you know how it goes. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, everywhere. So you want to make sure that you're prepared for that 5 o'clock wherever you happen to be. Another thing that we do at that event is we have cheeseburgers. You have to have cheeseburgers in paradise when you're doing a Margaritaville event. And this we turn also into a fundraiser for our particular club. Last year, the group made about $42,000 in one night. Of course, it took a lot of planning, and it took a lot of margaritas to kind of get us to that event before we were ready to go. One of the things that you can do at an event like this, whatever your club happens to do, that can be lots of fun, as well as a fundraiser, is you can have some kind of a raffle. Now, we usually have about 20 raffle baskets or 20 raffle items. But the one that was the big hit last year, we called our wine cellar. Everybody in the club, and we have 65 members in our club, brought a bottle of wine. We packaged it all up in boxes, and everybody could buy tickets, put them in the little, we have sand buckets to put our tickets in, and somebody won $65 more. And I'd say that lasts most of us about 2 weeks, wouldn't you? Something like that. So this is a fun thing to do. You can have lots of activities, and you can also be raising your money for your service projects. But anyway, the one that I was going to talk about briefly is our Parents of the Caribbean, we call it. We developed this 10 years ago. We have it outdoors. It's at a big old worn down looking barn. We painted palm trees on the side of it. We have monkeys on the side of it, parrots on the side of it. They're a little faded, after 10 years, but that's the way it is when it's an island of atmosphere. So this has been a great time for our club, and we've had just lots of fun doing that.
I am that person that looks at things not quite normally. But like Pat said, what you've got to do is find that person in your club. It may not be you, okay? But that is crazy enough to put on a crazy looking costume, come into your meeting, and do something to liven things up, break up the monotony. Doesn't have to be Elvis. It could be, we have a Christmas elf come in, and when we do our Christmas basket, pass the hat every year for our kids for Christmas baskets. And one of our members puts on a little elf costume and comes in. So, doesn't have to be terribly elaborate or anything like that. But there is probably somebody in your club that will do it. What you've got to do is figure out who it is. Ask around, see if anybody knows anything. Look for YouTube postings from your club members. That's not be a good place to find something like that. But they're around. And, we walk amongst them. Right now, think of yourself in a large 50,000 seat auditorium. Lights are down low. Spotlights are sweeping across the seats. A lot of anticipation in the air. The opening acts are all done. Everybody's wondering, is Elvis in the building? We always coming. It's not George Jones. Lights come up. Elvis hits the stage. I'm a little older than he was, so I don't move as much. Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising. Hell me inflaming, burning a hole in my soul. Yeah. Girl, you gonna set me on fire. Yeah. My brain is flaming, I don't know which way to go. Yeah. 'Cause your kisses lift me higher, they're like the sweet song of a choir. You light my morning sky with burning love. I feel my temperature rising. Hell me inflaming, must be 109. Yeah. Burning, and nothing can cool me. I just might turn to smoke, but I feel fine, yeah. 'Cause your kisses lift me higher, like the sweet song of a choir. You light my morning sky with burning love. It's coming closer, the flames are now licking my body. Won't you help me? I feel like I'm slipping away. Yeah, it's hard to breathe, my chest is a heaving. Yeah, Lord Almighty, burning a hole where I lay. Yeah, 'cause your kisses lift me higher, like the sweet song of a choir. You light my morning sky with burning love. Burning love. I'm just a hunk of hunk of burning love. I'm just a hunk of burning love. I'm just a hunk of burning love. At least my wife says so. I'm just a hunk of burning love. Burning love. Thank you very much.
Now, a few things that our club does for fun. Besides put up with me.
They're posted on YouTube.
That's right. It's probably already there from some other things I've done. This all started out as I was asked to do this for a men's club Valentine's ladies breakfast at our church. I've been in the entertainment there for about 8 years now, doing about 30 minutes of Elvis at the end of the breakfast. But what we do at my club is something that we call Foundation Football. And it's a fun, interesting way to raise some money for the annual fund of the Rotary Foundation. At the beginning of the football season, we ask the people who want to participate, we can't really make it mandatory, but we encourage a lot. You pick a Division I college team, and you pick a pro team. And this is all on the back of your handout there, by the way. They commit to a $5 donation to the Rotary Foundation for every win that the team has during the season, and 10 cents a point scored by the team. So each week, after the weekend, all that's totaled. For our next meeting, we have a Foundation Football Report, where we give high praise to the top 5 people in the contest, and thoroughly ridicule the bottom 5 people in the contest. And it's a good time, everybody enjoys it. The person who finished last in our last contest, who'd have thought if you picked Indianapolis and the Vols, that you would have finished last. They had a $96 contribution to the Rotary Fund. So the person that finished last was within $4 of every Rotarian every year. The winner wasn't me. I finished second. $262 was the top. Now, whoever has the top prize or has the top donation, the club adds to it to the $1,000 to make it a Hall Harris Stone. So that's what you win. That's the prize at the end of the tunnel. We also have a couple of our elder statesmen in the club that the winner is taken to lunch by those 2 gentlemen. Those 2 gentlemen also have sons in the club. The person who finished last gets to go to lunch with the sons. But we have a good time with that, and you know, that takes about 4 or 5 months to go all the way through the Super Bowl. The time before last, let's see, no, 2 years before. The year the Saints won the Super Bowl and Alabama won the national championship, we had a guy picked Alabama and the Saints. Went totally undefeated the whole season. Nobody touched him. So, I mean, he was #1 from day one all the way through. But he's an Alabama grad, big Alabama fan. We always give him a hard time about that. All the Alabama people. It's mostly like Kentucky and Tennessee in here. Yeah, but that's something we do from a club standpoint that is fun. There's some things that we have also done in the past from a kind of a non-club, more of the family of Rotary type of things like Pat talked about, where you bring the family, bring the kids. We're in Franklin, Tennessee, so we're close to Nashville. We've done a Night at the Sounds. Got a block of tickets at the AAA baseball game. Come out and see the Sounds. I know Jackson has a team. I know Memphis has a team. So Louisville has a team. Birmingham. Does Birmingham have a baseball team? I think too. Pat, do you know?
Huntsville has the Stars.
Huntsville has okay. So you know, most of the time you're in somewhat, maybe an hour's drive tops or so to get to a minor league baseball game. Minor league baseball is a cheap entertainment source. It does